Welcome back, guys, to another episode on this channel, The Fitness Enthusiast. Today's topic I'm going to be talking about the aerobic and the non-aerobic respirations. Okay, because that aerobic and non-aerobic respirations are happening in your cell level, okay, cellular level, okay, to fuel up your activities that you perform on a day-to-day basis, and how this aerobic and anaerobic respirations come into picture based on those demands or activities you do perform. Let's say, for instance, you are performing like uh, brisk walking, right? Brisk walking demands less oxygens, okay, than the supply. So your supply would be more, the demand would be less. So you'd be completing a sentence, you would be completing a conversation with somebody while doing those activities. So it is your aerobic respirations, and aerobic respiration demands your bodily oxygen. So you get to use those oxygens to convert those ATP molecules, which would in turn would be helpful during these workouts or during these activities. In while I just discussed brisk walking, okay, it is an aerobic activity, and the whole entire process has been done with the bodily oxygen, okay. And another thing is anaerobic activities. It is one different part of the spectrum. It is completely opposite to the aerobic activities, where oxygen is not needed to while we are performing these activities, okay. I mean, it is needed, but we need some extra ATP stores, which would be created not using these oxygens, okay. It will be created in some sort of electron store, okay. It will be converted to ATP, okay, molecule, to sustain those workouts. So you would have less oxygen in your body. I mean, the supply would be less. In anaerobic activities, your bodily oxygen would be less, so the supply would be less, and the demand would be more. So body would not support, so you would not sustain those kind of activities, okay, like high sprinting, like weightlifting. So you would do those intense one set, like, which is consisting of 30 to 50 seconds. So that intensity would be much more, and during that intensity the oxygen demand would be more. Body would not support by converting those energy by using those limited oxygen. So what it does, it actually creates ATP stores through anaerobic pathway, okay. It will create those ATP stores by following this anaerobic pathway, okay. Without any oxygen, it would break down those glycogen to energy, so that those ATP, extra ATP would be needed, would be helpful to sustain their workout, okay. Because it is quite demanding, and it is all of a sudden you do need for that ATP, okay. Because in the process of oxygen is plentifully available, that takes a process. So since the process takes, I mean, quick, right? I mean, heavy intense workout needs quick ATP stores, okay. So in that process, the conversions will take more time for the oxygens to be there, and then the conversions to be there. So it is not going to happen. What it does is it would create those ATPs by following this anaerobic pathway to support for extra ATP stores to sustain these workouts, okay. Because during that time frame, it is not possible by using less oxygen to create those ATP stores, because in that process much more oxygen will be needed, which is at that time, since your demand is too high, it is nearly impossible for body to readily available with these oxygens to further breaking down into, to further convert the glycogen into energy. So it is nearly impossible during that time frame when we get into these intense activities, okay. So it is an anaerobic activities where demand for oxygen is more than the supply of oxygens. So your less ATP stores, in process of less ATP stores, your body would follow an anaerobic pathway to create those ATP stores and fuel that workout. to this through these extra ATP stores. So that is your anaerobic and aerobic comparisons. Okay, how two things are working. Okay, so and the popular workout you could do like WIIT workout. There is a special type of workout called WIIT workout. It is an acronym. It is a acronym, as you could see, WIIT, which means the full form is HIIT, not WIIT. I just put the wrong thing. Okay, so there is a popular workout called HIIT, which is your higher intensity interval training. Okay, higher intensity interval training is nothing but your intensity of the training will be high, and then you are following up a rest period, and again we do the same activity once again. Okay, and it will be happening for a little bit of time. Okay, and in that process, the study shows when we are comparing aerobic activities and non-aerobic activities in terms of calories burned, the anaerobic activities will burn more amount of calories with respect to the time, okay, than your aerobic activity does. So in anaerobic activities, it's like, let's say for instance, you are getting into a 30 minutes intense workout. By end of this workout, you would be burning 400 kilocalories, and while you are doing that 1 hour of cardio, I mean low intensity cardio, you could drop the same amount of calories. So in a less amount of time, you could actually get benefited with those calories burned per your right. So anaerobic respirations or anaerobic activities would be helpful then over your aerobic activities. There is a study shows when we are burning those calories, in case of aerobic activities, the ratio for burning those calories coming from your fat is like 60%, and 40% would be your burning of your calories from carbohydrates, compared to the reverse. I mean 40% is going to be your fat and 60% is going to be your carbohydrates for your anaerobic respiration. So it is completely different in anaerobic activities. So it would burn out of those 400 calories. Okay, the 60% of those calories would be burned by your carbohydrates. So 120 grams, okay, not 120 grams, 120, I mean 60% of that 400 would be how much you could guess, right? So that much of calorie would be burnt out by your anaerobic activities, and 40% would be burned by your fats. Okay, so the study shows that your fats, the more fat you would burn through your aerobic activities compared to your non-aerobic activities. But on the top of them, there is a caveat in it, so that it will be misunderstood by the people in a wrong way. Now, out of these 400 kilocalories, okay, during this same time frame, you would get more calories burned, and if more calories burned, that's 40% for those fat would be greater than those 60% of those fat you are losing from the aerobic activities. Okay, so in the whole process, you are decreasing, I mean you are burning out more carbs and more fats compared to your, I mean your total fats and your total carbohydrates you would burn more than your aerobic activities within the same time. So anaerobic activities are significant better when it comes to losing weight. Anaerobic activity would be great. Okay, so that's it guys.